Yeah, no, I wrote on it, so
Okay.
okay.
All right, good luck.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming in, Chad.
Got a update on our draft purchase document for the shop
Yeah,
lot.
so your attorney is working on it.
So she's still working on it.
Yeah, she's gonna come by and get the folder for the Opidin development from me this afternoon, just to make sure she has a really good handle on how the city came by the property in the first place and what ramifications may be attached to that. So she's working on it, getting ready to discuss it with the council tomorrow.
Okay. Then we got the Dodge County Housing Study.
All right, so it looks like, Wycliffe Smith and Knowlton, did end up with the lowest bid, for the study by about $660. They also are not gonna be charging us anything for transportation, travel, any of that stuff, which the other ones would have included. It does appear that, they're gonna be going with them for the completion of the study. I did send through email, attached to your packets that I sent out last week, there's a copy of the study on there. I sent that to you this morning, Mike. If you, yep, and if you guys want me to resend out a copy, just so I know, you know you've got it, I can do that as well, but, if you do have any questions on that or anything, just let us know. They'll be talking about it Thursday evening.
Thursday morning at 9.
Morning, sorry, yes. Thursday morning, they'll be having a meeting to kind of solidify that.
All the cities are getting together.
Yep, to place their votes on which one to go with, but it looks like, WSN is also local, it's out of Rochester, whereas the other ones were all out of the cities or out of state, so. Looks like that's what they're gonna be going with, and like I said, if you guys do have any questions or concerns, please reach out to Teresa and myself, and we'll make sure they get there. Unless any of you would like to go to the meeting Thursday morning. Good.
Oh, fascinating.
I think so.
So that's it on Dodge County.
Okay, comp plan update.
Yeah, Dan could pretty much do this too, but, so we had the second workshop. It was not well attended, so I do have the kits, workshop kits. I'm gonna take one with me tonight to the, chamber mixer. And then, we're going to do one with Planning Commission next Monday, the 13th. And I will, work through the exercise with the department heads. So if you have a group, know of a group, that would like to participate in the comprehensive planning process, I do have kits available.
And he did say that night when we were talking to him, that when he did Amber Grove Heights, 2 people showed up. So percentage-wise, he says, we're way at. He goes,
7.
Yeah, but he said it's tough. He goes, when it comes to this, people like to do it online, and they like to come to the first meeting and speak, and then, but a lot of them wanna do it online, so they can put in things, but nobody knows who said it, because they don't wanna offend anybody, but.
Yeah.
But, it was a good turn.
I thought it was
good
conversation.
Good conversations, yeah, it was.
So that's good.
And that they were taking notes, and they had good ideas.
Yeah. Yep, so there's plenty of opportunity to still participate.
Do we have online surveys going out for that at all?
Well, those already took place.
Okay.
And they're all done.
Yep.
You can
And
read
is
them,
there
but
any
you can't add.
follow-up ones that then people who didn't, you know, like you mentioned, were kind of nervous
There
about
might
the
be
meeting?
new activities that.
He
that
said all you
turn
can
out.
do is read them now, you can't add to them.
Oh, okay.
Cause we're on a timeline with them to get to the finish line, yep, exactly.
But
There we are.
hopefully it's going the right direction, I think it is.
What is the completion date?
May? I think he said May.
Yeah, yes.
May of
We're substantially on time.
May of which?
Next year.
2018.
I thought you were gonna say 2020.
No.
No,
Okay.
no.
No.
2018.
It feels like it some days, but no.
No.
Okay.
But he said right now they're a couple weeks behind, I think. But he said they can move that up. And he had a drop dead day, I don't remember when it was, when he wanted these kits done, I don't remember.
Yeah, I think before the holidays, so like
Yeah.
the second week of December. So I'll work them a little bit and see what I can come up with.
ICSC trade show update?
Yeah, so we, sent out follow-up letters, actually packets, to, the retailers who were a good fit for us, who were at ICSC, and some I talked to and some I didn't, but we, are following up with them anyway. And then as we, maybe get a couple weeks down the road or figure out who's responding or who's not responding, we'll go back to Buxton and ask them to put together the market surveys for each of those, retailers, and maybe and follow up with them one more time to be more like specific to our market. We gave them a little market information, but we didn't wanna, we mostly wanted to make our market information match what they were looking for. This time around. Next time around, we'll be more specific about, how our market
Yeah, right now we're just trying to
matches.
catch attention, and we sent out
Mhm.
flyers for each of the properties that we thought would be appropriate for
Yep.
for each business, whether it was the old Images building or a new building lot, so it was,
Yeah. So
Everything
we're
was
trying
very
to match them to
specific.
real estate and, let them know what the opportunities are.
trip counts, population, competitors, those kind of
Yep.
things.
And of course, highlight the fact that we have a new quick trip truck stop. So,
That brings people.
yep.
That place is, the old one was busy, this one's even busier, I don't know how.
Yeah,
It
it's
took
not
that
like you
thing
can't find
down
parking
so
place.
quick.
You gotta park on the east side.
Oh, okay.
Or behind sometimes.
Or behind sometimes, but it's your typical, parking lot, any parking lot, they're gonna narrow up the parking spots as much as they can to get them in there, so when you crawl in there, you're like, kinda look.
When I get out of my car.
Yeah.
Careful on a windy day when you open your door.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. We got, Casson to host, marketing in the morning.
Yeah, and you guys will each have a flyer in your packets, for that, for the marketing in the morning. It is Global Entrepreneur Week that week, so Heather Holmes, who's the project director for Journey to Growth, she's gonna be the speaker that morning, talking about, creating and submitting effective press releases. Heather herself has spent over a decade in television news. She has also won numerous awards, including 2 Emmy nominations for video promotion and production, and journalism and storytelling. The event's gonna be free and open to the public. We are really hoping for for a good turnout, especially being that it's Global Entrepreneurship Week. The marketing in the morning typically sees an increase of about 30 more people attending, just because of the week that it is. It's gonna be on Wednesday, November 15th, from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. CEDA's gonna be providing breakfast at that, so we'll bring, pastries and coffee and that kind of stuff, and then Heather Holmes will do her presentation. We're gonna have that at the library in the conference room right when you first walk in there. But if you guys are interested in hanging up any flyers, I brought extra ones, if you know any place that might wanna hang these up to get as many people in there as possible. We're working with obviously some of our other CEDA representatives to get the word out all throughout Dodge County and Rochester, just the area in general, to make sure people can get here if they'd like to. But yeah, so, I'll also be going to the chamber meeting tomorrow, and then I'll make sure that I'll bring a bunch with me there too, see if anybody wants to hang those. But yeah, we'd love to see as many people there as possible, because we all know press releases are a fun yet tricky item, and be good turnout, good promotion for the city, so that's what's going on there.
Next, we got your CEDA update.
All the fun. So we just had the CEDA Partnership Celebration on Thursday night. I don't think anyone from
No,
Casson was there.
Did
I
not
was
drive
there.
down there.
Oh, were you really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Dan was there.
I didn't even see you there. I was running around letting everybody go for dinner, but.
Came right to our table and said, "Where'd you go?"
Came to every table.
You
Well,
was
yeah,
happy.
so, it was, personally, I thought that the event went off really well. It was very well attended. We had over 150 people there this time around, so it was,
175.
yeah, it was a good,
Wow,
good showing.
wow.
We tried to force everyone to go home with pumpkins,
Yeah.
which was always good, so. No, the presentation was great. I think our speaker was fantastic. Really kind of focused in on essentially allowing your business to speak for yourself. I think his catch line was, you don't need to advertise for a good party. Talked a lot about boots.
Really expensive boots.
Boots?
Yeah.
As in cowboy boots?
A pair of, well, he listed it at silver buckle and so many millimeter heel, and he kept going on. It was
something Taylor, it's a really expensive male, designer brand.
Designer, as in the boot was $1,990 for a pair of boots.
Yeah, so he utilized that to talk about how those boots have been stuck in his mind now for years because
He didn't buy them, and he
he
wished
didn't
would've.
buy them, but they were the greatest fitting thing he ever had, and now it's ruined boots for him forever.
Yeah.
But,
And
it
we
went on
called
for a
the
while.
called the company, they said, well, you should have bought them when they were there, because they no longer make them. That's kinda how they put it
Yep.
to it, like,
Okay.
too bad, so sad, but.
Next time you'll buy them if they fit that well. But, yeah, so that all went on Thursday. Then, the Minnesota Main Street program, I attended, on October 19th. It was using your story to sell your downtown. It really focused in on Red Wing, actually, and, when they had the competition for it was a giant grant that they were gonna use for revitalizing their downtown. They ended up getting second place to a city in Pennsylvania. But they had to go nationwide on this. In a small community like Red Wing, it was quite the effort. So it was a lot of how to use social media, to bring more attention to your communities, how to utilize your website better, encouraging community activism. So, Teresa and I have kind of spoken a couple times about some of the items that we could utilize as far as, updates we could make to our website or Facebook page, challenges you can do with the downtown community, and we'll see what we can come up with, but I think it did give us some good insight into some items that we can update as well for ourselves, to kind of help people get in downtown. The day at the Capitol Committee, I've recently started attending. The first, meeting was actually also on October 19th. My focus in this committee is going to be, they call themselves, it's with the Rochester Area Chamber of Commerce, but they are calling this the Southeastern Minnesota Day at the Capitol Committee, because they really do want all of southeastern Minnesota to be represented. When we take that day up to the Capitol, we'll be talking with lobbyists, doing some lobbying with legislators. We'll also be having what we're calling speed bonding. So we'll be talking about bond issues, but just kind of pairing people up, and they'll have a set amount of time to discuss those issues. So what my job there is going to be reaching out to all of our seated communities, and obviously I'll have a little bit of a special interest in Casson on that. Being able to make sure that our agenda items are ones that are going to be represented there. We don't want just Rochester being able to take over talking to the legislators about these issues. We want to make sure that seated communities are represented. So we'll be finding out which bonding issues are going to be the most important to our communities, finding out which other issues are most important to our communities with our legislators as far as, building restrictions or taxes or whatever we're thinking about. Whatever's most important for us, we want to get on the agenda. So I've got my next meeting coming up next Thursday, where we'll be kind of setting out what type of agenda we're going to be looking for. After that, I'll make sure to get a list to everyone so that we can find out what we'd like to push for Casson and see if we can't make sure that that's going to be represented there. But I do think it's a good opportunity to try and get some information in front of our legislators that we didn't necessarily always have.
Did they have a date for it already?
February, I want to say it was 28th, but I could be wrong. I'll double check that for you. But end of February.
Okay.
I do also want to let you guys know for the holidays, I'm going to be out of town. I'm going on a family vacation with my family. We're going on a cruise, therefore I will not have internet nor phone access. Yeah, I know, right? During that time, though, I've already arranged for Joyce Stetson and Tom Munson, who does Dodge County. They will be making sure that if there's anything in the immediate time when I'm gone that you guys need right away from us, they will be here and responsive to you immediately. All that information I'll make sure to leave with Teresa. I can also send out an email with their information as well, but I don't foresee anything coming up that would be immediate, but if something does, they'll be available for you as well. And then the last item I've got for CEDA is our performance appraisal. I sent that in the emails to you guys as well. That would have come yesterday, might for you this morning. If you need it printed out, I have a couple extra ones. I am not supposed to see these. If you can email them directly to Ron, and I can send out his email to you again as well if you need it. Or if you get it to Teresa, she can get that to Ron as well. But basically, it's just a review to allow CEDA to know what are the items that we want to focus on more. If there's things that you guys wish we were doing that we're not, or things that you think that we're doing really well, just go ahead and pop that on there, and we'll see what we can do. So those are my updates for CEDA. And then I know the next item on there is the board meeting date for January. I just wanted to address this early. Right now we're scheduled for January 2nd. January 1st being a holiday. I wanted to make sure if that date is still a date you guys would like to stick with, or if you want to push it a week due to the holidays. I just want to, in case there's an issue of quorum.
I'm fine with it.
I'm good.
Everybody's good? Okay, I just wanted to make sure so nothing
Another-
came up at the last minute.
I'll be at work, so.
Perfect.
Okay. Do we have any other business?
I do have one more update. So the Dodge County EDA had a summit last month on childcare, with information that Dodge County is like 140 some slots short for of the demand for childcare here. And it doesn't get better if you think, well, I can't find a slot here, I'll go to Rochester and find a slot there. So it doesn't seem to get better in that direction. And then based on some of the information that we heard at the summit, we had a luncheon on the 2nd to discuss possible ways that we could help to maybe encourage folks to think about childcare as a profession, or expanding the business that they have. And one conversation we did have was tax abatement to assist the facilities with maybe affording to be able to purchase hire additional staff, or in order to free up workers who could actually go to work if they could find childcare. It'll kind of depend on, Jim was going to go back to the county and take a look at their tax abatement policy and see, you know, which of those two angles maybe would work with, or maybe they need to rethink their policy on tax abatement there. So that's the conversation that we as cities and the county have started to have. And then the EDA director for the county had his own jobs that he was going to follow up on and see what he could do to find out more about licensing. If you're a licensed facility, there are a lot of regulations. It seems almost oppressive, but of course parents want to know that they have a licensed facility to leave their children at. So I don't know how much relief can be found on that side, but we'll work on maybe some relief on the business side and let you know when we find out.
And I invited someone to come to the chamber thing tonight from the place I was telling you about last night that's
Okay.
interested in expanding.
Okay.
Or building another location.
Okay, excellent, all right.
Because at the comp plan meeting, that was the biggest thing that was discussed at our table, was the future of daycare. Because currently, the bigger daycares they're not even allowing a wait list.
Oh.
Because they're so full.
Yeah.
That they just got rid of it because they said we can't do it no more. It's to the point. So that was the discussion we had on our table, is where would you
Okay.
put them? If you started a new one, it's gotta be near downtown, where, you know, because it's gotta be in walking distance to your pool, your parks, your amenities that a daycare wants, the movie theater, so.
Yeah.
Is it more of the facilities, or is it, people that they can employ? I mean, what's the
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, is there a certification that the employees have to go through to be able to be a provider like that?
It's a,
There-
Depends on the facility and
Yeah.
what level.
Yeah.
you know,
What
like
level of kids, so evidently like teacher certification is important for the school-age childcare
Yep.
program.
Oh,
Depends what program you wanna try to get into and what program you wanna provide. If you just wanna do daycare where you make sure the kids are safe and their parents can pick them up with no educational component.
Background,
It's much
yeah.
easier, because there's a lot less money available for that too. So, the daycares that we work with every day, they're struggling to find those teachers. There's one, they can't pay them like a teacher out at the school, but yet a lot of them need the same certification as a teacher.
Right,
Yep.
right.
So it's kind of, it's just a big circle, and then the other,
Right.
nursery group, they just struggle to find and keep people that,
Yeah.
After they get them there for a while, and they've got more experience, and then they move on, I mean, that's, so they're kinda like a stepping stone for
Right.
their careers.
Which was a little bit of like the tax, like the difference in the tax abatement could make up for the salary that would keep the person there, it's
Or
like.
getting a new person in, because if someone
Yeah.
leaves, you're required to have so many staff
Right.
members on per number of children, so
Yeah.
you lose too many staff members, you have to downgrade the number of kids you can even keep.
And then the age of the children, the lower the age, the more coverage
People you
is
need.
needed, yeah.
Sure.
So, our percentages, but, so the conversations are happening, if you wanna chime in, let me know.
So, any other business that we wanted to discuss?
is, I think you mentioned it, but the Suncat Transportation Center, is that set for spring for sure? They're not gonna do anything
Nobody
now.
has told us for sure, like, no one from SUMGAC has called and said, hey, by the way, we're breaking ground, I can
They
reach
own
out
the
to
lot,
Wade.
right? They bought the
Yeah.
lot, they did the
Yeah.
soil borings, they did all that stuff,
Yes,
they're just
exactly.
waiting to do something.
MnDOT, evidently a MnDOT grant that they're using
Okay.
to get it built, our understanding is spring.
Okay, and then in the minutes, you were gonna try to contact, Shopko again
I
on the 25th?
did, actually, yes, I
Anything
did.
back from them?
I did, actually, yes. So I talked to the fellow at Shopko, actually, he picked up his phone.
Wow.
2 months later.
I know. However, he has not been able to touch base with the folks that he needs to speak with before he provides us with an answer. And so I asked him, well, when would it be appropriate to call you to follow up again? And that will be after the holidays. So I'll follow up with him again after the
So,
holidays.
do they still have an ongoing issue with their property tax valuation?
I
Is that still good?
understand that that's still, like a, legal
Still legal?
matter,
Yes.
yes.
Well, somehow we need to get it in there, the city of Casson is doing all they can do to try to get a tenant in front of there to increase their business and their value of their business, and they won't even respond to a phone call, and it takes
Yeah.
4 months to get an answer
Right.
from them.
Well, so,
It's ridiculous.
the owner of the property is separate from
Right.
Shopko, yes. So it's like, we really had to send the request to the owner of the property, but then because Shopko's lease gives them ultimate control of what happens on the property, then it's been transferred to Shopko.
So can we, I get frustrated, this is ridiculous.
I know.
We have
Yeah.
somebody who wants to build a building that's in the best interest of
Mhm.
everybody involved. Can we give them a drop dead date, the next communication, and say by January 15th, we need to have this, or we're gonna start the process of eminent domain? We'll just take it. We'll just take the access.
Well,
it's
right,
it's
right.
ridiculous to
I
take
know that
5 months to
eminent
get an answer
domain
on
was
something.
thrown
That's
out, but
ridiculous.
I don't know how threatening eminent domain might impact the ongoing
All we're doing is asking
legal
for is to
action.
cut the curb and put a driveway in.
Right.
We
The-
aren't
but
taking any
the-
land.
Yes,
Or
but the
taking the-
legal
the
action.
drive-through.
That's underway. So that's something that,
We're taking no property.
We could talk
We're
to, I
cutting a
could
curb
talk
and
to
putting in a
Ryan
driveway.
DeCook and see how he would feel about that.
Well, it's ridiculous to take this long to get an answer.
Well, they could tell us no.
Just tell us no if you wanna do no.
Right. They could just tell
Keep
us
dragging your
no,
feet
that would
and-
be an answer.
Right, but what,
Right.
I just don't understand.
Right. So I'm trying to not put on so much pressure that it's like, no, go away. We don't even wanna talk to you about it if you're gonna be that way about it. So, it's kinda like,
But they don't.
think about.
Apparently they don't.
So they
don't,
need a little
right.
push.
But it's really confusing. It's in their best interest to have more
Yes.
activity.
Well, you would think, right,
Next door,
right.
to the property owner and to Shopko.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can talk to Ryan DeCook about the.
Or the
eminent
Shopko
domain.
gentleman, do you need to
Yeah.
explain to him that this is going to benefit Shopko?
No, we put
No,
that
I
in the
think that was
proposal.
absolutely clear.
And they need to put the property owner's feet to the fire and say, hey, we need you to respond to this because we would like this, something there to benefit our business.
Which benefits
Yeah,
everybody.
But because of the lease she has with Shopko, and the control Shopko has of the property, she has basically forwarded our request to them.
Yeah, 'cause she doesn't even talk to us anymore, she gave us Patrick's information
Yeah.
instead.
So Shopko needs to sign up, give their blessing first to say, yep, you
Yes.
blessed us, then the property owner would have to give up the
Yeah.
easement or whatever to get.
Yeah, and the property owner basically is whatever Shopko says she's gonna go with.
Right.
So
She's just
the ball's in
waiting.
Shopko's court.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The property owner has nothing to do with it right
No,
now.
Correct.
So they need a little push.
because she's leased it to Shopko.
Have you talked to Carrie,
Carrie.
the manager of the store? To say, hey, here's something that's gonna, cause those guys get paid on a
I
commission.
could do
They get,
that.
they
I
get
guess
paid
I
on
could do that.
profit percentage of their location, a year over year and all that kinda stuff. We have something here that's gonna benefit traffic to your store. Can you light a fire the next time you have your
Yeah.
conference call or a regional thing?
Talk to your
say, hey,
regional and district and.
Yeah, I can talk to him. I'll talk to Ryan DeCook too, 'cause I kinda, I had somebody else put forward to me the idea of eminent domain, and I thought, oh boy.
No, I don't wanna go there, but at the end of the day,
Yeah. You know,
it'd just be their best interest.
especially when they're making a case on their value, so,
Right.
And then, on the offer that we have for that lot,
yeah.
and it's been over a month now that we got the thing
Yeah.
back in writing from Ron, is this is taking way too long too. Is Melanie just been busy,
Well,
or what's the,
Has
I
she
guess I
been
don't understand, if I was
busy?
gonna
No,
come
well,
try to buy a piece
so-
of property, I would expect that it's for
Yeah.
sale, that I could get an
Yeah,
answer before
she's
5 weeks.
yeah, she's working through the statutes related to EDA's
I know, it's been 5
transferring
weeks.
property. Well, you can discuss that with her.
Okay, so that's, it's been in Melanie's court for.
Yeah, yeah, I provided her with that offer pretty much the day that I received it.
Right.
So I didn't dilly-dally about that. I do know that she did, provide information regarding the statute, to Councilperson Buck, so that he was aware that there was more involved.
No, I don't care about that, I just,
Yeah,
if
so-
somebody's gonna come buy a property that the city owns, it shouldn't be a 5-week process just to get a purchase order
Well, the thing is,
together. That just seems like an awful
Well,
long
we
time.
can't
do a
I wanna
purchase
buy
order.
something, you have it for
Right.
sale, I'll offer you this, yep, we'll take it, great, we should be able to
but
put
he
something together in
didn't
5 weeks.
actually, so in all fairness, he did not actually submit an offer to purchase. He typed 3 lines on a piece of letterhead and brought it here. So had he hired an attorney or a real estate agent to actually craft an offer to purchase, and his attorney had actually looked at the statute and reviewed what's involved with tax, or, with transfer of property from EDAs, then he could have brought us a purchase offer that was all ready to be considered. But he chose not to
So it's
take
added
that
more.
expense
Melanie's
on
having to draft
himself. So he brought us a piece of letterhead that had 3 terms on it, and now it's been our attorney's job to actually craft the offer to purchase, which
Smart
he
guy.
could have done.
You
But
don't
he
have to
could
pay
have done
for it.
that, so then for him to complain about her taking time to put together an offer to purchase when he actually
did
could
it
have
at no
hired
cost.
someone.
Oh, I understand that, I'm just
Right,
so
to do
frustrated with
that,
myself
yeah.
personally, it just seems like if we have something for sale and somebody wants to buy it, we should be
Right,
able to.
but we have it, here's the thing, we don't even
accommodate.
really, what do we have for sale? I mean,
Land.
we weren't,
But he specifically put in writing that it's all contingent on him getting access, which means we can't offer a
Right.
purchase for it until he's got access, because that was the
Right.
specific item that he had on there. And if they're not gonna tell us till January, then we
Right.
have to hold his horses anyway, because that was a
yeah, it's
stipulation
not
that
like
he put
he's
in there.
ready, he's,
Right.
his indication was
So there's
not
a-
that he wanted to close
So
a lot
on
of-
it.
he looped himself in by
5
saying contingent on
weeks
getting
ago.
access, because we can't offer him a purchase agreement until we have access to it.
So, right.
Put
So
a bridge
it's
up on it.
complicated, and you
Mhm.
can discuss it with his, council will discuss it with their city attorney
Ugh.
in a closed session.
Sounds like fun.
Okay.
All the
There-
good times.
Okay.
Any other business?
No.
Look for a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All fair?
Done.
We're outta here.
Things take
Hey,
way too
if
damn
it
long
was-
in this building.
Hey.
That's
If
on
it
tape,
was-
isn't it? It takes way too long in government. If you fail to make a deal and get it done.
If it was easy, everyone would run for mayor.
Talking about getting stuff done.
That's what they do, don't they?
It takes-
Everybody runs?
It takes forever.
City
Should be a lot easier.
It should be easier, but it never seems to be that easy.
Red tape is always fun. Did any of you guys want any of these to give out?
I got a place I can put it. Nope, I'll give you this back, I don't want that.
No worries.
Oh, yeah.
Well, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, probably turn this.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna head back to work. You guys have questions on that, just give them the yellow.